Determine 2u minus 3v. So I put 2 and then I replace u by the u vector, which is 3i plus 2j. And then I put negative 3 times of v vector, which is 7i minus 4j. So we do the distribution of 2 with the numbers inside the bracket, also the negative 3 with the numbers inside the bracket. 2 times of 3i is 6i, plus 2 times of 2j is 4j, and then negative 3 times of 7j is negative 21. This is I, negative 21i, and negative 3 times of negative 4j is plus 12j. Now we have to add the corresponding components. So I component with I component. So 6i minus 21i, and this equals 6 minus 21 is negative 15. This is I, and then 4j plus 12j is 16j. So therefore, we say that 2u minus 3v, and this equals negative 15i plus 16j. Let's answer question 2. So here we are given the initial and terminal point of a vector. The initial point is 2 comma negative 1, and the terminal point is negative 8 comma 11. So let's say this vector is u. We find this u vector, and this equals, we write down in component form as, we first take the x component of the terminal point and then subtract the x component, x point of the initial point. So it is negative 8 comma negative 2. Now we take the y component or the y number, which is 11, and then do the subtraction minus, and then we take this negative 1. So 11 minus minus 1. So therefore this becomes negative 8, negative 2 is negative 10, and then 11, this will become plus 1. 11 plus 1 is 12. So this is the u vector, and we can write down this in a vector form as u vector is negative 10i plus 12j. So we have written this vector in terms of the unit vectors I and j. Let's answer question 3. So here we are given this vector v vector equals negative 6i, negative 5j, and we have to determine the vector which is half the magnitude and opposite direction of v vector. So first I'm going to determine this vector which is opposite to v vector, and this is nothing but negative v vector. So this equals negative of v vector. I replace this v vector as negative 6i, negative 5j. So this equals, I can distribute this negative. So this is, if you distribute this negative, we get negative of negative 6j is positive, I'm sorry, this is I, and negative of 5j is positive 5j. So we get this vector, negative of v vector equals 6i plus 5j. So this is the vector which is opposite to the direction of v vector. Now we just have to take the half the magnitude of this vector. That is, we have to multiply this quantity by half. So it becomes a half of negative v, and this equals a half of 6i plus 5j. So we can simplify this by distributing the half into the two terms inside the bracket. So this equals 6 by 2i. When you multiply half with 6, we write this as 6 by 2i, and plus 5 by 2 times of g. I'm sorry. So this equals 6 by 2 is 3i, plus 5 by 2. We can just write down this as 5 by 2g. So this is the vector which is half the magnitude and direction opposite to v.